So now we are moving towards section 135, and 135 is talking about corporate social responsibility. And look at, guys, the contents. And so many green color contents are there. Green always prescribes what? New amendment. So let me tell you, post COVID, government has changed the CSR rules. Now let me tell you the philosophy. I want to touch the feet of the man who gave the concept of CSR. Earlier, government planning that we should increase the corporate tax by 2%. So whatever you're earning as a net profit, 2% government would take as what? The tax in the name of social responsibility. And the same tax will be deployed back to the social services. But somebody says that you are taking first of all from the corporates, and then you're spending on the people. There is a limitation. Limitation number one: it is not guaranteed that the money what is taken by the government will be utilized for the social service. Second, my argument is something what government gives back. They are giving 100, but it doesn't reach 100. 100 आप दे तो लेकिन लोगों तक 100 नहीं पहुंचता, वो पता है आप लोगों को. In between there are so many, I would say, channels which takes their profit. So at the end of the day, 100 rupees, at the end of the day, productivity is just a 20 rupees. Third, my argument is like private people can manage social services better than the government. Are hai na? Why? Let me tell you, earlier governments, I'm telling you, discipline wise, private sector versus government, where you will find more discipline. Guys, वहां पे आप एक दिन छुट्टी करके दिखाओ कॉर्पोरेट में. एक दिन टाइम पे फाइल कंप्लीट ना करके दिखाओ. गवर्नमेंट में क्या है? अभी धीरे धीरे टाइटन अप हो रहा है, बट आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग इट what so far was happening till 2013. So what they proposed, I think JJ Irani committee in 2003, they made one report and submitted to the government of India that we have to introduce CSR. Why I'm saying 135 in Companies Act 1956, before 2013, CSR concept was not mandatory for the company. So yes, I would tell that it is the additional burden on whose shoulder? Company. तो उन्होंने क्या कहा? You have to take the average profit of the last 3 years. And not all the companies. Again, there is a class of company. There is what? It is applicable to one class of company. So you have to take the average profit of the 3 years and then apply 2% on that average profit. Whatever amount comes, compulsorily you have to utilize this funds for what? CSR purpose. So ultimately what happens? Company and other psychology, samjho, we are Indians, yaar. If you demand tax, we hesitate. But if you demand donations, then where we have the soft corner? Donations versus taxes. हमारा soft corner कहाँ पे रहेगा? By donation. We would love to give the donations, but we generally feel hesitate to give what? Exactly. Indians के खून में ही दया दिखाना है, mercy all the times. So what government now planned according to that JJ Irani committee that it is compulsory for them to spend this much money, but government will not take, government will not spend. It is on them how they should spend this. We will just tell you the rules, accordingly you have to spend. You have to manage. Why we should take the headache? So ultimately, this 2% water, the government, sorry, not government, corporates are spending. They are doing not only social service, they are actually doing the job of the government. It is whose duty to protect the environment? No doubt it is our moral responsibility, but government is more accountable for that. Yes or no? Whose duty to eradicate hunger? Whose duty to go for the human empowerment? Whose duty it is to maintain the more healthcare sectors, in the education sectors or the sports sectors? Government. But by using this CSR 2%, now company can think that which projects they want to. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. So now there are so many questions. देखो बेटा, CSR की जो rules हैं, जो provisions, it is providing the clarity. Now, what kind of clarity? My question number one is, what are the percentage? So answer is 2% of the average net profit of the last 3 financial years. My next question comes like, which are the companies for which it is compulsory to follow? Third question comes, if it is applicable to your company, how will you follow? How will you follow? Do you really think that Mr. Mukesh Ambani will waste his time to decide where the money will be spent? No, bhai, he has a lot of other things to do. And he's good at business. Maybe he's not good at the social service. Possible or not? तो हो सकता है कि वो काम ना करे उसको. My third question is, under what circumstances you can back out from the CSR? Because if you have 200 crore rupees profit average, 2 crore rupees every year you have to spend for what? CSR. But 2 crores, after 2 there are 7 zeros. Some companies may not prefer to go for that. Clear? So what if they want to back out? So under what circumstances they will be back out? That वो भी हमको समझना है. Which are the expenses will not be considered as CSR? Can company use the CSR to their home countries? Coca-Cola, US company, डायरेक्टर डिसाइड ओके CSR करना है ना, चलो यूएस में करते हैं, तो वो इंडिया का क्या फायदा? इनफैक्ट इफ योर factory and areas of operations are situated in Karnataka, but as your hometown is Andhra, can you utilize this 2% to promote the Andhra activities? So these are some questions. Another question is, you see, do you believe that sometimes we are not good in philanthropic activities? So what we do is like we want to join the hands with some other NGOs or Section 8 company. What is Section 8 company? I think all of you know that, right? So is it permissible or not permissible? If it is permissible, under what circumstances it is permissible? What about the expenses? What are the pharmaceutical or medical companies are expending for the research? You tell me, Bacha, if you are just finding the formula to cure HIV or the blood cancer, suppose. Ultimately, what are you preparing? That is for the humanity. Because if the medicines got invented at the end of the day, who's going to be benefited? So what you have done is like you spend crores of rupees for the research, but for the commercial purpose, you will patentize this, and at the end of the day, you want to earn the money by selling the medicines. That spending behind the research is considered as CSR contribution or not? Are you getting me what I'm saying? Can you carry forward CSR contribution or not? Now, what do you mean by carry forward? Lawfully, you have to go for 2%, right? So, if your average net profit is coming to somewhere around 100 crores, apply 2 crores. So, कितना आएगा? 2 crores. But instead of 2 crores spending, you spend 5 crores. How much excessively you provision? So, that 3 crores rupees credit you can take for the next years or not? ये भी एक question है. ये भी एक question. Very important aspect. What if you could not utilize CSR? You have the provision of the 2 crores, but आपने spend ही नहीं किया. तो आ जाओ भाई. हो गया फुटबॉल. खो खो. Good. First time I'm seeing Coco in the campus, like it's good. You tell the security, na? Tell the security, they will. Good luck. Fine. So did you understand what I'm saying, बच्चा? तो क्वेश्चन में तो गजब है. अभी अगर मैं इसके आंसर धीरे धीरे खोलना शुरू करूंगा तो टाइम बहुत जाएगा, इसलिए कल करते हैं. बट आप समझ गए एग्जाम में क्या आ सकता है. अब इनमें से जो कुछ क्वेश्चंस मैंने आपको कहा, एनजीओ के साथ हाथ मिलाना, अमेंडमेंट. अगर कंपनी had provisioned or not provisioned, in fact any year company is eligible but couldn't utilize the funds, amendments. Companies which are spending the money for the research, so there are 2 points would be coming. Amendment, what are those 2 points? Research spending for the COVID medicines, COVID vaccination, and research funding for other than COVID. दोनों के आंसर अलग हो जाए. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? So in detail, we are going to learn that how this entire operation is getting maintained by the government of India. and we will feel proud because of this section 135. I can see the impact. Companies are spending the huge and they feel proud in that because they are giving something back to the society. Earlier it was voluntary, now it's compulsory. That's what is the difference here. Okay? So 134, I will take some time tomorrow, maybe 1 hour somewhere around, and all the important questions we are going to solve, and that's all. Just a small request, tomorrow when you are coming to the campus, Punit's cabin you have seen? Over there I left my keyboard and mouse, so please don't forget to bring it here. कोई एक बंदा responsibility ले लेना तो हम आगे बढ़ेंगे ठीक है. Thank you for today's students. Attendance ले लेते हैं.